Getting Hector's best build is going to be a grueling task. It is going to be monumental, so difficult. Oh no, not difficult for us. That's easy. So now, before we start, let's go ahead and get his digits. It's important to note that he has a super boon on attack. That means with Thunder Arm as his default weapon, whenever he has the super boon, he's going to hit 60 attack. Boom! That's amazing! What's even better is as long as he doesn't... We're going to go ahead and put up all of the slots that he has here for different skills and stuff like that, just so you can have them there. To point out, Thunder Arm Mods is there. Basically, it has a built-in Wary Fighter effect that doesn't have a hit point limit. It instead has like a friend limit. Draconic Aura is a special, nice damage based upon his strength, which, as we saw, can go up to 60 potentially. Also, his A slot is Distant Counter. I hope you're not surprised. His B slot is Vengeful Fighter, so he's going to swing back twice whenever he's using that, and he's going to charge up whenever he's using that, whenever he's initiated on. It's a great skill. I love it. I'm glad he has it. His C slot is something pretty darn unique, and that is Ostia's Pulse. Now, this is basically a special variant of a Pulse skill that whenever he is on the field with a mixed emblem team, it can't be all armor, it has to be no more than 2 of any different type of movement type, then he's going to be able to give a cooldown -1 to everybody special, and there's a lot of people who are really going to love that. But so now let's go ahead and talk about what we need to convince Hector to do in order to actually become just mind-bogglingly awesome. And I think that this clip is going to set the scene for us.
Put down the ducky if you want to play the saxophone.
We have to get him to put down arm mats. It's hard. It's gonna be hard. Now you see why, like, I am like sweating in fear. It's terrible, but we need to get him to put that down. And in order to get that, let's talk about some builds. This first build is going to be a baseline for him. He uses his Thunder Arm Mats. We're going to go ahead and give him Bonfire. Basically, subbing in Bonfire is going to be better, or at least as good as, depending on your IVs, Draconic Aura. So there's really no point in not doing it. I mean, it's basic. And put in Bold Fighter for the B slot so that we can make him very strong on initiation. Give him quick riposte in the seal slot. You know, typical stuff here, nothing special. All of these are assuming that we are going to have plus attack for the boon, so I think numbers might be a little bit different if you do it with your different items. Going into the DPT, Deltran's PvP threats, link down the doobly-doo, or you can just go to the AndDo2 GitHub Sim. However, I mean, look at this. I mean, that's not a bad initiation. I mean, that's not a bad initiation at all. 32 wins, including some wonderful, wonderful things like Naui, Dorcas, Ira. I mean, we can go up against Ira, Grima, Myrrh. I don't see how this is bad. And so you might automatically be thinking right now that there's no reason to switch things up. There's a couple of things here. First of all, we are losing against Winter Tharja. Like anyone expects that to happen. We're also losing against Arden. Crusher. This is fun. 35-3 now. So instead, we're picking up. important stuff. Memes aside, let's take a look at something that is a little bit more accepted. Let's take a look at Slaying Axe, okay? We're going to go ahead and get that, refine that with defense, as we're doing with all of these. The extra hit points you're getting out of this is awesome. The extra defense you're getting out of this is awesome. I don't see any kind of downside to this, and so whenever you put Slaying Axe on him, you might as well go ahead and upgrade his special. We're going to go ahead and run Ignis on him as well. Whenever you initiate with this, now you're once again seeing 35 wins, 3 losses, less losses. I mean, you're picking up after let's go ahead and go forward just a little bit more. Let's take a look at what happens whenever you give him a Slaying Hammer. This is wonderful. The anti-meta weapon, 36 on initiation. Boom! That's a good number. Now you get that Winter Tharja. That's great. You're still losing the Arden, and you're still in that you should have had before, to be quite honest with you. Maybe not Winter Tharja, but I mean, you should have had Effie before. Now you do. Now at this point, there's probably 2 things that you would have an argument with as to why this is not a good idea. And the first one is that Thunder Armad works a lot better on the enemy phase. If you bait somebody with him, and his default kit speaks to this, if you bait somebody with this, not only do you normally have Vengeful Fighter there, but you also have the ability to stay near your friends. It's going to proc more often, and you are just in this sweet spot. Well, let's go ahead and evaluate that. We're going to go ahead and we're not going to take a look at building, we're not going to take a look at the enemy phase on any of these builds here. We're just going to go back to the original Zephyr with Bonfire, but we're going to go ahead and give back Vengeful Fighter. It's great. It stops another hit. You get that second hit back on them because of your Vengeful Fighter, and you know what? You free up your seal slot here. I'm not going to dictate seal slot on any of these. I mean, you can go quick to the post to do something cute like that. Since you don't have a resistance Bane, hopefully, actually 26 is acceptable to do a ploy. It's on the low end, but it's going to round off those corner cases. An attack or defense ploy is just no one's gonna expect it. It's just like a little Spanish Inquisition seal. Do it, it'll be funny, and it'll work. So what happens whenever we use Slaying Axe? Well, yeah. We drop down all the people that we lose in the win column. And green. Winter Tharja, and you're catching Valentine's Day Hector and Effie, but I mean, you have more losses. It's just not that great. However, you more than likely are going to want to put Aether on this Hector, because now this thing is just a complete battery for you for PvP arena. The score this thing is providing you is insane. So if you were to put Aether on here, now take a look at everything, really now you're on even ground. You are not going to be dying to Ira and Grima and the like, but you're not going to be killing them either. So you do have that safety net now of them not getting that second tap on you to kill you. However, you're not triggering a special on them. You're not going to kill them anymore. So if you switch up to Aether, you're basically resetting the playing field, and now in this particular case, specifically, I'm still a fan of the Slaying Hammer. It's better. It works out so much better. Great, and you know what? A simple buff is not going to recover for you, because you really needed to have Bonfire proc. So if you take a look at this compared to the other weapon types whenever you let people initiate on you, they're still doing just as well as they were before. I mean, we're in the same ballpark. We didn't need Bonfire in order to actually help us get anywhere, which is awesome. So you can go with Aether. You're going to get a lot of potential out of that, and it is just amazing. Now, here's the other thing, is that I've already talked about arena points, and so if you take a look at this build, you might be concerned that you're losing the preferred weapon of Hector and you're going down to a mundane weapon, if you will, that's being refined for defense in this case, in all of these cases. Whenever you do something like this, though, because he has 2 other 300-point skills, as long as your B slot remains as something like Bullfighter, Vengeful Fighter, something of that weight, and as long as your seal that you choose is of the same weight, it's, once again, it's Quick Riposte or it's a Ploy, something of that nature, then you're going to have the same amount of points as you would keeping Thunder Armats. The only thing Thunder Armats lets you do is it lets you bring a seal or a B slot if you wanted to do that, but I don't condone that, that weighs around 200 SP. And so that does open up some possibilities for you and some neat things you could do. It does open up some small avenues here and there, but nothing amazing for you. So when it comes down to it, this is a completely tax-free way to be able to get some extra out of Hector and be able to fight against the meta that's out there. It is absolutely wonderful, guys. I'm just so excited about this Hector. What about you guys? Are you guys excited? Did you get one? Did you not get one? Are you hoping for the next legendary banner? Please let me know down in the comments, and do me a favor, if you like your Fire Emblem information hot and fresh like grandma's cookies, hit that subscribe button. My name is Deltran. Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate all of you, and until next time, take it easy.